continue to stay offshore. Being joined in the program via Zoom from London, Mr. Victor Osasu is a life coach. Welcome, Mr. Osasu, for coming on and thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Let's talk about, my colleague was talking to someone in diaspora just like you and some of the challenges Nigerians are facing. Maybe we'll take it from there on how to navigate this very difficult part. But someone had actually said that if the freedom you seek is a freedom from responsibility, then you will never be free.
That's powerful. That's a powerful statement. Yeah. I think your last guest really hit the nail on the head. You know, around the Nigerian spirit, right? You know, the Nigerian spirit is one of resilience, is one of creativity, and is one of determination. That's who we are. You know, and that's why wherever we go, it might be tough, it might be hard, but we're going to keep pressing just because that's the spirit we have. But I think what's important in what we do is really the mindset with which we go into these things. I think there is, as much as we put in the energy, as much as we, you know, we have this Nigerian say, don't we? We say that, you know, there's no food for a lazy man. But the funny truth, the reality is that in Nigeria, even the strong man is hungry, right? So it's really not just about the amount of energy you insert into these things. It's about how smartly we go about them, isn't it? So I think that's really about it. It's about the mindset shift and about how smartly we go about what we go about. So that it's not just a case of just hustling for hustling's sake, but really hustling to create something better for ourselves.
I'm sure that you're aware and you're familiar with today's Nigeria. So if you were to give like 3 tips on how to survive in this season, what would they be?
Right. Okay. So I think the 3 tips I'll give is communities, which we already have. People who are very communal. But I think it's about being intentional about our community, because no man really is an island. You need, as whatever you're in, you need a community. You need people around you who are there to cheer you and to support you and guide you and help you, you know, to really move on to the next level, to get through whatever you need to get through. So community is very important, and I think everything else we do hangs on that. But I think in terms of the other 2 tips I'll give us is really around working not harder, but working smarter. And so what I mean by that then is rather than just doing what we're doing every day, day in, day out, and not getting any result, it's really about reevaluating what we do and thinking again, how can I do this perhaps in a different way just to get that answer? So for the man, for example, who's thinking, you know what, I'm a graduate, I still can't find that job. You know, government is not giving me a job. You know, it's about thinking, you know, what are the skills I have, or what skills do I need to go and develop, you know, and really try and work on in order for me to actually make myself, expose myself to the opportunities out there. So to that young person out there like that, I'll be saying to them, you know what, you know, go on YouTube. You know, you have a phone. Rather than just being on social media and dragging people as we like doing, you know, utilize that. That is a business tool you've got in your hands. Utilize it in terms of finding free courses, and there's so many. Find free courses, develop your skills, because the future is about skills. It's no longer about degrees, it's no longer about certificates, it's about skills. So really it's about taking that opportunity to develop that skill you need to develop, and then present yourself to the world, because again, we're playing at a global level. We need to start thinking globally. Even as a guy who you're thinking, I'm a graduate, I haven't got a job. Think globally. There are people, including us in the diaspora, who are looking for others who can help serve us in one way or another, who can provide a service, provide value for us, and we're willing to pay for that. But you've got to present yourself. You've got to get that skill. Well, not, you know, in order to do. So again, that's something that I'll be encouraging people to utilize. And the third thing I'll say is really about how we manage our money. You know, you cannot. There's this phrase about you cannot measure, or you cannot really manage what you cannot measure. So really, it's about, you know, again, because again, things are hard, right? Things are really hard, you know, not just in Nigeria, in the world right now, it's really hard. So I think it's really about how we manage what we have, really taking time to really think about what is essential and what is important, because sometimes, you know, they're not the same thing. The same things you want, you know, we like to party, we like all those things, but some of those things, I think when things are hard, you've got to revalue what you have. Think about, you know, I need to make sure I have my essentials. I need to make sure I put something aside for the future. You know, you've really got to plan things. I know people, for example, who, you know, the minute money comes in their hands, they're going out to go and party, and the next day they say, you know, I haven't got a job. I know someone, for example, who said the other day to me, oh, I have no job, or whatever it is, but they've got a cleaner. I'm like, hold on a minute. You need to reevaluate where your money is going and really think about how you manage that You know, why do you have a cleaner? Yes, you're providing a service, but ultimately you haven't got a job, so you've got the time to really do the cleaning, and that way you got some money to yourself. So I think it's about smart working rather than just hard working, and I think that's probably the thing that we need to work on a lot more, I think.
So what, in your view, can the people in diaspora as well as people in Nigeria leverage on for us to be a bit more productive back and forth? I mean, so what I mean by that, sometimes we have professionals there and professionals here who perhaps are locked in one career path, but there are opportunities, ancillary opportunities they can walk around. What will they be for you, broadly speaking, in 1 minute?
Right. So I think it varies in what environment you're in, but I think it's really about just looking at what the needs are, and there's so many needs out there. So, for example, if you happen to be someone who works in HR, there's so many stuff you can do around that in terms of employment law. You're really understanding how that works and seeing how that's relatable, how you can share that service. I'll give you a very good example. You've got people who've got an accounting background, for example, and I tell them, do you know you can actually help charities? There are many charities, there are churches, mosques who've got accounts, they've got monies coming in and going out. They need someone to help them understand their books. That's a way you can actually add value and do something which is different from what you do from your 9 to 5. So it's really about thinking broadly, and it's really about mindset shift. Not waiting. I mean, I guess Nigerians are not. We're very good at this. We don't wait for permission. We just do. And I think it's really taking that spirit of determination, going out there, looking at what are the opportunities around me. So I think that's a good one there. And there are other ones as well out there. I know someone, for example, who's got a background in compliance, and she's busy helping, looking at contracts for people, trying to make them understand what the terms of these contracts are, what they need to be aware of. And there are needs out there in the diaspora, in Nigeria, and it's about, start free, but move from free to fee. It's about volunteering. I'll provide you guys with a week's worth of service or a month's worth of service. And when you do that, you provide value. And you know what's happening from that value? That gets converted into money, because people are thinking, hold on, they've actually provided value. They explain this thing to me. There's so much more they can do for me. No one will just come to you and say, oh, I'll give you that. You've got to demonstrate that.
Yeah. Mr. Osasu, if I let you go, there was a time coaching was a thing, and you are a coach. How is it really paying as much as it used to pay? Just in 1 minute?
It is, but I'm not doing it for the money. Okay. I have a day. I have something else I do for money. I do it for the passion. I do it because of when I started out, I had no one there to really guide me, and I think that's why I said community is very important. I had no one to guide me, so I made a lot of mistakes on the way. But part of my vision, part of my life's mission, is to help others along the way, to guide them on the way, in order to see true success. And so you're not going into coaching for the money. You're going into the coaching because you really want to help. It's an act of service. That's how I see it. I don't see it as a money-making scheme. It's more about an act of service. And I've got so much to give, because I've got so many scars. I've got so many mistakes I've made in my journey, in my career, and everything else. I've listened to others. I hear the mistakes they've made, and the last thing I want is for people to make the sort of mistakes I've made. They're going to make their own mistakes, but at least let them learn from the ones I've made. Let them learn from the things I've learned.
Victor Osasu, a life coach, we can stay with you and you keep talking, but we enjoy every bit of it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, so we're back here. I'm sure you can take a tip or two. Kayode and Bukola.
Yes, indeed. It's about smart working, not hard working.
Working smart.
And the future is about skills.
Especially in this administration, that everything is tight.
When has it never been that tight, really? When has it never been tight?
No, this is record tight. Looking at all the numbers, so this is record tight.
Jeffrey, if you go back to this, you know what? Let's close.
No, I have the numbers. So I'm not saying what I don't know.
I'm saying the experience of Nigeria, and this is by no means trying to.
No, every dispensation has difficulty.
Exactly.
Of course.
But that's what we anchor on the show.
So we hope that our tightness is going to pay off tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I'm Jeffrey Ozomo.
Of course, we'll be back again together tomorrow. I am Bukola Kuka.
Whether it's tight or not, make the most of it, okay? I'm Kayode Kikelu. Sunrise Daily is next. Goodbye.